Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So we start now. So I'll discuss briefly about the climate change adaptations for food security. There are several issues. Climate change, one of the pertinent issue that affects crop production, and it has a variable effect on production. Some places it may increase, some places it may decrease, but in overall, it's going to affect the crop production and the food security of the world. So we'll discuss in these presentations how the climate change and what are the adaptation techniques are there. Adaptation management, we can minimize the adverse effect of climate change. So we have here two field experiment. Also we have crop modeling simulation exercise, and we have outreach activities. Means we have some demonstration sites in village as a farmers field, where farmers we do advise the farmers to use some of the technology so that they can have the higher productions with the minimum use of the resources inputs, and that can make the increasing profit as well. Well, so you can go to next slide, please. So we have these contents like introduction to climate change and global food security, climate change impact analysis on agriculture, then ensemble of experiment and decision support system, agricultural production technologies, climate change adaptations, mitigations, and finally conclusion. Some of the future climate predictions to see the temperature is expected to increase by 1.1 to 6.4 degrees Celsius by the year 2100 based on a range of emission scenarios. Then with the sustainable development in effect from the year 2000, the carbon dioxide will increase by 45% to 110% by 2030, and that causes around 0.2 degrees Celsius warming per decade. And there is increasing number of heavy precipitation events along with prevalence of droughts. So you see, with climate change, there is a variable precipitations, and most importantly that there is an increasing number of high intensity precipitation events. So because of high intensity events, it causes loss of the soil fertility, that causes soil erosion, that brings the loss of soil fertility. And if you see for the different scenarios, how the temperature is expected to be as compared to 1960-90, by 2020, as you see, there is around 0.5 degree rise in temperature. But if you go to the 2050, the temperature rise that is more than 2 degrees Celsius in many places around the world. So that makes alarming, and that gives serious warning, so that we should be very cautious and we should be very careful for our activities, so that there is less emission of carbon dioxide, how to minimize the climate change and minimize the warming of the atmosphere. So if you go to next slide, the impact of climate change on food production. If you see, so there is on food production, there is a falling the crop yields. The crop yield like to decrease in many tropical and subtropical countries, but this may in particularly developing regions, for every 1 degree rise in temperature, even there is a rise in temperature of 1 degree Celsius, the yield is likely to decline. For the tropical and subtropical countries, and most of the developing world, they are located in tropical and subtropical belt. For the temperate climate, so there may be the slight increase in yield if there is a rise in temperature up to 2 degrees Celsius only. However, they are also likely to be affected. The yield is likely to drop there in case of temperate climate like European countries. If there is a rise in temperature more than 2 degrees Celsius. Similarly, so significant decrease in water availability in many areas, and also the sea level rise and the intrusion of the sea water to the coastal areas, then that's a salinity problem, the could be affected with salinity. Then the ecosystem damage to the ecosystem due to the climate change. The climate is extreme weather events, that the rising intensity of storms, forest fires, droughts and floods, and there is a large scale shift in the climate system. If you go to next, are you going well? Let me interact with you because I'm not able to know. Is it fine to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, thank you. So if you see the slide, climate change impacts on food security. So there see there's a different range of carbon dioxide and the developed country and developing country scenario. For the different scenarios, in case of developed country, mostly they're located in the temperate climate. For those developed countries, the yield is likely to be increased. But developing country, the yield may decline. If you see as a global scenario, because in total the global food production may decrease and this may be around 5%. And there is a difference in the developing and developed world and the food production, as you've seen the last row. So the first row shows the effect of climate change on global food production. Okay, you can go to next. So here you can see the effect of climate change on global food production, global hunger index. So by 2100, if you see, there is a many parts you see in the tropical and subtropical zones, the yield may decrease. Where you can see the bottom figure, you see the red color shows declining yield and the green color shows increasing yield. So in case of most tropical, subtropical countries will be severely affected due to climate change. Whereas for the temperate climate, their yield may increase, and most developed countries are located in temperate climate. On the right hand side, if you see the global hunger index and the region with the closer to red colors, they are very alarming. That's because global hunger index. So here we see the white colors are the industrial country. So there you don't have the data. What green color means that the less affected, and India is also very highly alarming for the global hunger index. Then we talk about the climate change and global food security. So if you think of food security, what do you mean by food security? Food security has four major components. That's a food availability through production and trade, the stability of food supply, access to food, and actual food utilization. It indicates that the food security not only the food ability, the food can be available through production, and there should be supply. Food can reach every corner of the country. Stability of food supply to transport. So then the access to food means the economic capacity of the consumer, of as a farmer or any person, the economic capacity of the person to buy the food. So every person should have access to food. And finally, the food utilization. That means how the food is utilized in human body. So providing only cereals and pulses does not mean the food security. You can see the National Food Security Act of Government of India. So you are distributing the cereals to the poor people, economically poor people. So there are Government of India distributing you can say free rice or the wheat, but that does not mean the food security. So food security, that's the actual food utilization, how the food is utilized in your body, and the food utilization that comes to the balanced food. And the balanced food means you need to have the cereals, pulses, oil seeds, vegetables together, all nutrition, then the food can be properly utilized. So what you say that the projections of undernourishment depends on climate impacts and also on economic development, technical conditions and population growth. At the beginning of the millennium, between 800 and 900 people were at risk of hunger. Most of them lived in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. Economic growth and slowing population growth can significantly reduce the number of people at risk of hunger. And what you say, in a pessimistic scenario with strong global warming and high population growth and no carbon dioxide fertilization effects. So what do you mean by fertilization effect of CO2? Means CO2 is expected to have a favorable effect on crop production because it increases the photosynthesis and hence the dry matter production. But if there is no CO2 fertilization effects, then probably there will be more and more people will be added to risk of hunger. Around 500, 600 million people will be added by 2080. So this is a very because climate change, I say. So as of the one of the aspects that affects the agricultural production and likely to affect the food security of the globe as a whole. If you go to next one. So that's why it's about the food security as discussing this actual food utilization by human body. So the food intake or the utilization should need a balanced diet. That means you should have the proper diet, balanced diet. So healthy diet that makes you healthy, keep you healthy. So as you see now we are passing through the pandemics, the COVID-19. So there is a need, no, that's what you are, what you eat. So your health depends what you eat regularly. You should take a balanced diet and the quality food. And the quality food means that boosts the immunity, human immunity. And as you're discussing also organic foods. Organic foods are better quality, the high quality, high rich in antioxidants, and that helps in boosting the human immunity, the immunity of the human being to fight several non-communicable diseases. So this is what the food intake should be there as a total fat should not exceed 30% of the total energy intake. Intake of saturated fats should be less than 10%. This is not good for health, the saturated fats. And trans fat we should not take trans fat. Trans fat is very, very dangerous and they make a lot of health problem. That should be minimum and less than 1%. You should must avoid having trans fats in your daily diet. And you must shift consuming from from saturated fat to trans fats, from saturated or trans fat to unsaturated fats. Then intake of sugar should be limited and also salt should be on less than 5 grams per day. So your diet should include mainly the fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts and whole grains. As these are the fresh fruits should be taken. If you see the triangle, and the base of triangle, the food you take the maximum amount. If you go the tip of the triangle, the food should be taken very minimum in a daily basis. That means the red meats are no other the white breads. So they are the pasta or the fast food. Those foods have to be minimum and as minimum as possible. Or if you avoid, that is fine, very nice. If you cannot avoid, so minimum amount can be taken, but your maximum food should be the fresh products, fresh cereals, even not the processed products. That makes you the healthy, keep you the boosting the human immunity. So if you go to next slide, please. So the population is increasing over the years, and it may reach around 9 billion by 2050, you can say. So it becomes it's very there how to feed the such a increasing population. That becomes a challenge for the engineers or scientists to increase the production. And there are several challenges before the farmers. If you see challenges before the farmers, so these are the next slide. You can see the challenges before the farmers. So climate change, as we discussed, this is challenge for the farmers. Shrinking farmland. Are you able to see this one? May I interrupt now? Is it fine? Is it fine to all?
Yes, sir.
We have some doubts,
Yes.
but we can discuss them in the end.
You can stop me. Please raise question. So if you see the climate change, the challenges before the farmers, so India, particularly Indian farmers. So climate change I discussed and shrinking farmland. The farmland is decreasing. The lands are getting converted. So people are getting urbanized. So lands are getting converted to buildings, quarters, houses. So less and land is available for agricultural purpose. And soil erosion, degradation because of the climate change. pest and disease also comes because of the climate change. Drought, floods, these are floods, these are due to also climate change variability. Then the debt, loan and mortgage. Farmers are also they loans from the local people, local money vendors that they take loans, and these are the problem for the farmers. Then unpredictable rainfall, that's the weather variability. You can see, so sometimes there may be rain, the heavy rain, and for few days there may be drought condition. This is a high weather variability. That's a unpredictable rainfalls and natural calamities. It may be a flood, it may be drought. And also the input availability. For especially Indian farmer, they don't get the input on time. So if you don't get the input on time and don't plant on time, the agriculture is one of the things that should be planted in season. If you leave season, if you don't do the operations on time, then you will suffer because the crop will suffer from the yield loss. And this is the what the challenges the farmers do face. So if you go to next slide, the climate change impact analysis in agriculture. So briefly already I discussed few. Because some cases there may be positive effect, and some cases there may be the negative effect. The possible benefit of the climate change is the increased photosynthesis due to carbon dioxide fertilizations and high water use efficiency, high yield. So there may be longer growing season in areas limited by cold temperature, especially for the temperate climates. So there, as the temperature increases, the growing seasons for growing crops that also increases. There are longer growing season, and also increased precipitation in some semi-arid locations. There is high precipitations. So these are certain benefits of climate change. If you see the adverse effect drawbacks, there is a frequent droughts and floods, heat stress, and that causes the outbreak of pests and diseases. Then shortening of growing periods, increased flooding and salinizations in coastal zones because of high sea level rise. So there are some of the demerits or the drawbacks of the climate change. As a phase experiment general rules, phase means free air, carbon dioxide enrichment experiment. A general rule, for every 75 ppm increase in carbon dioxide concentration, rice yield increases by 0.5 ton per hectare. At the same time, with CO2 rise, there is rise in temperature. And for every 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature, yield also reduces by 0.6 ton per hectare. So what do you say? So the positive effect of carbon dioxide, high CO2, is nullified by the negative effect of rising temperature. So even though there is a high CO2, because of the consequence rise in temperature, so effect of CO2 is nullified, there is a decrease in yield because of the climate change and the increasing CO2. If you go to next slide, so there are some of as a climate change, so there's a pest and disease, because due to climate change or the high CO2, so there is increasing temperature, and some cases there is the rise in the pest population that will affect the crop yield because of the high pest and disease incidence. So if it is the soil quality, how the climate change affects soil quality, there are two schools of thoughts. The one school says that the soil quality because of the climate change, the high intensity precipitation, it may cause erosion of the soil, the topsoil layer with the most fertile soil. So there is a loss of soil fertility. And some says because of high CO2, it may because of high CO2. Sorry, just 1 minute.